music of the legendary KB Killer Beats, featuring Chef 187. Beautiful song, amazing song. In case you're just joining us, this right here is The Buzz, Zambia's biggest hip-hop show. Sun FM radio and TV exclusive. I'm your host, Camstar, aka Capital C, broadcasting live from Lusaka City. And we do have Mr. Killer Beats in the studio right about now. How you doing, boss?
What's good? How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy you're here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here too, man. It's the first time I've done an interview with you. Have I ever interviewed you before?
When you're on radio, we never had an interview.
We never?
I don't think so.
That's weird.
I don't think so. I can't remember. The time you were at QFM?
No, from the time I was on Choice FM, then QFM, then Rock FM. None of those?
No. You were playing a lot of my music, but then an actual interview, I don't think so.
Okay.
Nah.
But either way, yeah, I'm here.
I'm happy you're here. Yeah. You people are very busy.
Well, the truth is, nowadays I don't give as many interviews as I used to. Unless if, it's promo season or maybe there was something important that needs to be spoken about, I try to avoid doing as many interviews as possible.
Okay. Unless promo.
Yeah, unless there's promo or there's something important that needs to be talked about. But, so sometimes it's like, a DJ will just call you randomly, oh, we need to have an interview. And I'm thinking, okay, it's not promo season, just, so... And most of the times, radio presenters or DJs like to clickbait you. You know what I'm saying? Like, try to get you on and try to get you say some things that make some headlines and you get into trouble. Or
social media,
and that sort of thing. So yeah, so I made an exception for you. You called me and say, listen, I've never done an interview, Camstar. Yeah, it's fine.
You just had to do it, man. You just had to do it, man. I know how much you love hip hop.
Yeah,
I know how much you have been a part of the culture.
Yeah, that's my first love. So yeah.
A lot of people might know you as the producer that makes a lot of R&B records, but they don't know that you're actually very much a hip hop person. Like that's where you came from. That's where it started.
A lot of hip hop songs too.
So from as far back as Desert Eagle, that was you, Ray Doe, Digital X, and your cousin Fofo. From that time to now, would you say hip hop is in a better position, especially the type of hip hop that you were doing, the type of hip hop that Crisis, Pitch Black, and all these guys were doing? Would you say it's in a better position now?
I'll tell you one thing that I know for sure. Every generation and every era always think that their generation was the best. I'll be biased and say I think our generation was a very talented generation. I think we just came in at the time when there weren't too many opportunities. But I think talent-wise, our generation was really solid. But again, I'll be a hypocrite if I just say it was the best. I always feel like even there are some people I've heard from the new generation that are equally very solid. And obviously, we should also realize the fact that with technology and advancement and all these things, obviously the sound has gotten better, in terms of delivery and just other things. Even the production has improved, from what we had like 20 years ago with what we have now. So I would say that the guys that are coming in now are having it a little easier than we did. And obviously there's so many talented artists I've heard from new generation that have really impressed me. But I'll still be biased and say our generation was a really good generation because we were hungry. It was raw,
Yeah.
It wasn't for the money, we just wanted to be heard. You know what I'm saying? We used to walk to the studio to record. We just wanted to hear our song on the radio. Now everything is money based, which is good. People have to make their money. So yeah,
I agree with that. When you say everything is money based, I agree with that because artists go in the studio with the intent to make money. That's the first thing. Like, okay.
And you see, sorry for cutting you short. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people get it wrong because if you go with the mindset in the studio that I want to go in and make a banger and I want to make money, then you want to enjoy your craft. The craft has to be, let me go in the studio and have fun. I need to enjoy. I love making music. Like even some of my biggest songs I made were just songs that we were just having fun. We didn't even anticipate like, oh, this is going to be the biggest song, or this is probably going to be my biggest hit record. You're not thinking in those lines. You are thinking, let's make a good record. Let's have fun. You're not thinking, the tempo has to be fast because people have to. Let's just make a good song. And songs that you make that way are songs that end up being really, really huge. Ask anybody that has made some of the biggest songs, they'll tell you, oh, that song, I didn't even anticipate it was going to be, we're just hanging around in the studio. Then the producer played the beat, then, we started playing around. Before you know it, 30, 40 minutes later, the song is done. And we dropped it and it was the biggest song.
Yeah. They didn't go in there and say, let's make a hit.
No.
It's going to be the biggest thing.
No.
And currently, which art trends inspire your work in the studio? And how do you stay connected with current
Okay, so for me, this is a secret I've always said. The reason why, like a person like me who's been in the business for a very long time still has a little bit of some relevance is because I always hang around younger people. I always want to hang around younger people because they don't know. They think they learn more from me, but I learn more from them. I steal more ideas from them because they are the new generation that understand what's happening. So it's easy for you to tap into a younger person's mind than yours, because believe it or not, people that used to listen to me and now are working class. They don't have time to listen to radio, even just to go on these digital platforms to listen to the music. So a lot of people that are listening to music are younger people. So at every particular time, I've always hung out with younger people. Like even the people that I used to sign, like from Judy, Alpha, J Cash, all these we're all like 10 years younger than me, you know what I'm saying? So every time I'm working with a younger person, I'm tapping into their market. And I remember when I was working with Natasha Chaz, I remember seeing her music on online. I liked it. We started talking, then when we started working, then we did a song. Then I noticed that our fan base didn't know me. Like those certain fan base, I was pretty young, like 16-year-olds. I mean, they didn't.
Yeah,
so like, who's KB? And I'm like, okay, then for me, it clicked like, yeah, I mean, I'm out of range. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how are they gonna know me? I'm from the old school.
Yeah.
But the fact that I'm working with a younger person, it keeps me connected. Yeah. And that's the reason why I kind of feel like even until now I have a bit of relevance with younger people because I've continuously worked with younger people, and even some of my ideas that I still work with are young people oriented, like The Diary. A lot of people that follow The Diaries are younger people. This is the generation from say 15 to about 24. That's the majority of people that listen to it. Then obviously you have got people like you that are still listening to it. Yeah. So I think I don't know whether I figured it out, but I figured that me working with younger people all the time, like even now I'm working with these young ladies, Rachel and Leah.
I've seen one.
Yeah, they're like
song.
They're like 19 years. I produced a song that is currently out. They're like 19-year-olds. Even working with Frank Rowe, I learned a lot from Frank Rowe. So yeah, I guess that's my little secret.
Okay, so who is on your label as of now? Like, who have you signed?
Well, I'm not. I stopped signing artists from like 2015, 2016. I switched it up. I mean, for me personally, it never really worked. I don't know who is working for. I know it works for some time, then at some point there's always going to be some problems, because music industry is the most complicated industry. You see, when you're all starting off, when you all don't have nothing and you're starting off, everything is great because artists wants to break through, and so everybody just shows you the nice side of them, and when the money starts coming in, you start to have friction and conflicts. Artists feels like this, then producers also feel like, nah man, I make this hit record, you go on and make shows, I don't make money out of it, and there's always going to be that friction. So for me, for like 10-15 years, I tried to work around so many aspects, and it never really worked. You know what I'm saying? And I just realized that because I've always been a business-minded person, and me being very business-minded, it meant that it got to a point where now I started to look like I was a bit difficult to work with, because there's certain things I didn't accept in my circle. If I feel like this is not working out, it's like, no, I don't think it's gonna work out. Can we do this or we do that? Then it starts to create a bit of problem, especially if you have got rappers on, they start to call you out on songs and that sort of thing. So I figured a way that I could avoid it, and by 2015 I started making my own music, and I felt like it worked because I'd done so many favors for artists, and I figured I could start making my own records like DJ Khaled, and I would invite these artists. I'd do Butter System, and so if you came to me, you did something for me, I'd do something for you. You don't have to pay me if you don't have to pay me, and it becomes a big record. I'm never gonna come and make it. No, but I produced it. That's the sort of situation, and I think from 2015 that has worked for me. So now, if I work with an artist, it's not like I'm signing an artist, but we just have some sort of agreement that, okay, I'm gonna make this record. We're gonna promote it this way. This is gonna be my cut. This is gonna be your cut. No problem whatsoever. So the only person I'm working with in that regard right now is a guy called AC. So AC is the one that I'm working on his new project right now, and that's pretty much it. And everybody else, my door is open. If I find anybody that is talented and I feel like we could do something, of course we're gonna jump on it and do some work.
So with Rachel and her sister, it's the same as with SC, or
no, that one is a bit different. They've got their own management. So for me, it's because I see the talent. I sort of want to help them jump off, but I also get them to be on some of my records because I see talent there. You know what I'm saying? So I make records for them. They make some records for me, and that's how we work. But with AC, I'm handling his whole project.
Okay. We can't wait for that. I listened to the record that you dropped with SE.
Yeah. So we are planning to drop another one. Then we're planning to drop an EP. This is on the back of his song Nakangiwa that blew up in Kenya. It blew up first in Kenya, then went to Tanzania. Now it's going to Burundi, Rwanda. It's huge in East Africa. It's actually the most streamed Zambian song right now since last year August on Spotify, Apple. In the last 5-6 months.
That's dope. That's nice. That's nice. We can't wait for SE's album.
I can't wait either.
He's a dope singer.
He is. He really, really is a dope singer. We just need to get the formula right. But he is definitely. So right now, we're just recording. We're just having fun. I'm not obsessed about because that one is a hit. So this needs to be. For us, it's like we'll get it right. It's the same thing with Neo. I used to tell Neo, just keep doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? When the people are ready for you, they're ready for you. And that's and
there's so many people that you've put on a long list.
I guess so.
And some of them are people that are actually happening right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
We talk about Neo, J Cash, who
it's a lot.
Is my favorite rapper right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a presenter. I probably shouldn't say that. But
yeah. No, he definitely is. There's nothing wrong in saying that. He really is. He's also one of my favorite. I recently collaborated with him on one of my biggest songs, Ordinary Lover. So I'm such a big fan. When it comes to that type of music, and if you sit down with him, he's gonna tell you. I actually used to force him to be a lover boy. Ask him about this conversation. He's gonna tell you. I say, you know what? Everybody's trying to be a hardcore rapper. I think you sound good if you do like love rap songs like LL Cool J. He was not really cool with it, but he discovered that he actually sounds really good when he does that type of record. Like he can still go hip hop, but he's in his comfort zone when he does like a nice love song.
Most rappers don't really like going the lover boy way. They don't. They want to be hard. I remember Makitu telling me a story about Shefi. He too was telling Shefi to make danceable songs, collaborate with the likes of Afunika, and he didn't like that. All he wanted was hardcore music, tutu, shimbirama, that's all he wanted to do.
But you see, as an artist, you need to be a bit diverse as well sometimes, being able to tap into others. But you can see now Shefi's, his song Nobody, it's probably one of his biggest songs on that album.
Yeah,
that's a proper commercial song.
If not the biggest one, the biggest.
I think Wayubu is the biggest now.
Or currently,
I think so. Might be wrong, but yeah.
Okay, so who would you say is the biggest rapper right now? Doesn't matter what language.
I think biggest. I don't like to use biggest. I'd rather say hottest.
Okay, hottest.
Who's the hottest rapper right now? That's a difficult one. The only one that comes to mind for me, I'm gonna be biased again. I think J Cash is the hardest. Sheffy has always been in his pocket, you know. You can't ignore that. You know, Marky 2 is always in your ear, whether you like it or not. He's always gonna find ways to, you know, to keep himself out there. I say Critic is still buzzing as well. I mean, obviously on his own level. I mean, he's not making commercial music like that, but you know, if a hip hop head, you can't ignore, you know, what he's putting out right now. So Critic, I'd say Critic, Chef, you know. Yeah, pretty much, but you know, that's a very difficult question. You know, it's something I need to think about, but that's the names that come to mind.
And with the youngins, they've got their own space as well.
Yeah, the youngins are also coming up. I say Killer. Killer is coming up pretty good. I'm such a huge fan of Killer. I like Umsepela Crown. I've worked with him. I like Mojo.
LJ.
Yeah, LJ Mojo. I like Slick Boy. You know, he's not as active as I would like him to be, but I like Slick Boy. You know, I like this boy Choose International as well.
Yeah,
I like Choose International. I like HD Empire. I've always been fans of HD Empire from the time they came off the gate. Those are some of the names that come, and this boy Triple M.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you agree with the statements that LSK rappers and artists in general are so divided, and that's why the Copper Belt artists are seeming to be doing bigger things as a collective, and the LSK artists don't want to get along at all, or anything of that sort?
All I can say is that the Copperville artists are very organized, and it's very true that they hold each other. If there's some jealousy in the camp, it's hard for you to notice it. And I always say, I mean, if you're ever gonna go further, you have to collaborate, you have to get along, because together it's easy for you to go as a unit. But if everybody wants to be a hard-on individual, then it's hard, because everybody wants to stay in their pocket. But if you collaborated, or if you hold each other's hands like the way the Copperville artists do, then the chances of you going further are very high. And that's the reason why it always seems that the Copperville artists are doing better than Lusaka artists. I mean, I'm a Lusaka guy, but I'll be honest, I envy how the Copperbelt roll, you know, like they're united. Like even when Sheffy was having his show on the Copperbelt, you saw the support that he got. Yes, in Lusaka there are too many camps. It's always been like that.
Always from the get-go.
From the get-go, it's always about my camp. You know, I'm from this camp, and you know I can't. You know, it's always been. Unfortunately, it's always been like that. You know, unless that mindset changes, you know, Copperbelt artists are always gonna have one on us.
Yeah.
But we're very talented. I mean, there's so many talented artists, like I mentioned from Lusaka, that I think are doing great. But in that aspect, Copperbelt has one on us for sure.
Most likely, most definitely. Yeah. Are we ever gonna listen to a KB rap album?
If you listen to Diary, I rap. I recently rap on.
Now I'm talking about a full-fledged hip hop album.
No, I don't think so. I am not. You know, I'm not exactly a rapper. I think even when I was rapping, I loved the idea of rapping, but I always knew at some point that I don't consider myself a rapper. I consider myself a fan of rap. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I listen to myself, and I know a lot of people that can do way better than me. I know my strength, I know where I can thrive, but I never saw myself as a rapper. You know, like, you know, I always thought 4-4 was always the guy in our group, but I obviously had my strength. So it's not something that I'm not crazy about. It's not something that I'm crazy about. Like, if I rap, then I'm just in the mood. Like, I just feel like, you know what, at this particular time I want to rap. I don't even remember none of my lyrics. That's how bad I am. I don't remember. If you put me on right now, that I will not remember none of my lyrics.
Really?
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would love to listen to a KB rap album though, even just an EP, 6 songs. I would love that.
Because first of all, I struggle just to, because I'm a bit critical myself. Like, I rap on something, I listen to it, I don't like it. Like, I don't like how I sound. I'll go back, record it again. So based on that, I always felt like no, I'd rather make music and control other people and make music for other people than me rapping myself. I'd rather make an album for you. Because I'm a fan of hip hop.
Yeah.
I know what sounds good. But me delivering, I know I can deliver. I know I can make an EP, but I don't know. It's just.
I recently linked up with Ray Doe, and he was really looking like he really wants to go in the studio and do an album. But then
he's lazy.
I don't know, man. Like, he's always talking about hip hop.
He's the laziest.
He's always talking about hip hop, and he's always telling me he wants to get back in the studio and make an album.
How long is he going to be saying that? Like he's going to go back in the studio. The fans also wanted to hear us, go back and even do a single. It's something that I wanted to make happen as well, but I think at this point it's a bit stretched. Yeah, but it would be nice though.
It would be nice.
But it's a young man's sport now.
Jay-Z's rapping at 53.
He's not rapping actively.
But
Nas is rapping actively. Not Jay-Z's not rapping actively.
Well, I hear Jay-Z has an album right now, which he hasn't released. Swiss Beats talked about it, saying we do have an album in the studio and it's gonna drop.
I wonder what he's gonna be talking about in an album now. What do you think Jay-Z is going to be talking about? He's going to be talking about his 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, and having the hottest wife in the industry. What is he going to be talking about?
Jay-Z always has something to say.
Maybe economic,
and he doesn't
economic empowerment,
something like that. Obviously, he's going to be advising people on his records. You see, his last with his 444, he was talking about his private life. How he messed up with his wife, his children, and he was advising young blacks to invest more. It made sense.
It will be interesting. I'll definitely listen to it. I'll definitely listen to it 100%. I still go crazy about Nas albums till today, and it's crazy how even at close to 50 they still give you solid material, and that's what inspires me. Like, when it comes to talent, you can't age. Like, if you have it, you have it.
I think the older they get, the wiser.
Yeah, the wiser and the better you get.
Yeah, the more knowledge they have to share.
Yeah, that's true.
They talk about their experiences growing up to where they are now, and the music is richer, if you ask me.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. You should do the same.
I think so. Over time you gain so much knowledge.
Yeah, that's
over
true.
time you do.
Yeah.
And when you drop an album, you obviously wanna inspire the next generation and youngsters. You don't want them to make the same mistakes you made at some point.
Absolutely.
So, yes, so you tend to have a lot of knowledge to share.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you, because our generation, it was very experimental. We didn't know where this hip-hop thing was going to go. But, to see where some of the people have reached, if you asked me 15 years ago, I had no idea, man. Like, if you told me, like, Sheffield would be making the kind of money he's making today, I probably would have laughed in your face, because I didn't see it. We just had faith, and we just knew that it was going to happen at some point. That here we are today. So
yeah, I really think there will be a good Jay-Z album, and there could be a very nice KB EP.
No, I just continue making music. I wanted to retire, and I've always talked about I'm gonna step down, but like the industry, I always feel like the industry is kind of calling me, but I can feel it. I can feel that I'm slowly just going back in the background, because I'm not as active as I used to be. And obviously now you have to compete with so many people.
Yeah.
When we were making music, you could count the producers were there. TK, Jerry Finger, Sling Beats, me, Ben Blazer. There were like maybe 6-7 producers, active producers. Now when you look around, man, there's so many. I hear new name all the time. There's Mela Beats nowadays.
There's so many.
Like, I can't, there's so many, and they're all talented. Like, when you listen, it's like, this is incredible,
Yeah.
So yeah.
So who are you listening to right now?
I listen to a lot, man.
But like your favorite, like something that you have on repeat, like an album or project, or an artist that you have on repeat.
So right now I'm listening to the Pompey album and the Yomops album. There's a couple of songs that I like. There's a song on Yomops album called Ambuye. It's on repeat. I like Shoda. I'm listening to the new Rachel and Leah. You know what? Can I just go through? Let me look at my playlist.
Okay, no problem.
Because I can't remember everything. You know.
Would love to know what you're listening.
Move On by Triple M. I'm listening to a couple of Nigerian music as well.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Okay. We're here. So I usually make a playlist like every 3 weeks. You know, I switch up the playlist. So there's a playlist that I make. I listen to, okay, so right now my playlist there's Dua by Elin Juchi. You know Elin Juchi?
No.
The Malawian artist. Okay. Then there's that Kulima. Kulima song by Elisha Long. You know, the XYZ playlist.
Yeah.
I have Body and Soul by Joe Boy. Nobody by Sheffy. I have a couple of my songs as well.
Okay.
I throw it back. I have Maroon 5. With Jody, I have 80s Film by John Bellion. This is my playlist, by the way.
I love John Bellion.
Yeah, I have Good Years by Zayn Malik. I have Jaja. This is a Rwandan artist. Juno Kizigenza. I still have DJ Joe Brown. That nice, eh?
Yeah, dope record.
Yeah, I still have that on my playlist. I still have Snapchat by Roga. Till today, I have that Cranium song, Believe. Yeah, pretty much that's how my playlist look right now.
Nice. It's mostly melody.
Yeah, melody.
Yeah, that's your thing. I know that.
Yeah.
Very well.
Rap, I have to be in the mood. Like, and mostly when I'm listening to rap, I like to go back. I like to throw it back. You know, I like to go back like to the late 90s and just pick a few songs. Like if I'm driving, like I'm doing a long drive, I'll go pick a couple of Nas songs, some Jay-Z songs, some Mobb Deep songs, some J. Cole. I put it together. If I'm in that zone, then I just make a playlist, like a 2 hours playlist, and you know.
So you're not with the Lil Durks, the Lil Babies.
No. There's
a record by Lil
Durk and
J. Cole.
That's a bad song.
And I was sampling Lil Durk's album last night.
It's probably good. I mean,
it's really good.
I haven't had
and it's changed the direction.
I haven't had a chance to sit down okay, I'll tell you about the new school. With the new school, I just nibble here and there. You know, like I'll pick this out, listen. You know, like I haven't really sat down and said, let me listen to, you know, because I have to be able to relate to the music. But you can't run away from the fact that there's always going to be new school, Lil Babies. You have to listen. Yeah. I'm not exactly a fan of that direction, but I'll listen. I mean, I can go as far as J. Cole, you know, Kendrick Lamar. After that, I can't listen to a whole album. You know, I can't listen to a whole Lil Baby album.
Yeah,
you know, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll pick a few songs that I'll like and I'll listen. You know, but normally I'm biased. You know, if I'm gonna listen to hip hop, I go as far back as '94. You know, I just
old school guys are so biased. I know how you guys do. Yeah. I know how you roll.
No, but I still do listen. Don't get me wrong. I still do listen. So now I'll tell you, if you listen to my playlist, I'll say 90% of my playlist is African music. Then 10% will probably be like maybe hip hop. So if I say African music, I'm saying Nigerian music, Kenyan music, Tanzanian, Guinean music, Ghanaian music. I listen to everything that catches my ear. You know, like even I listen to a lot of African hip hop. I still listen to MI. You know, I listen to Manifest. You know what I'm saying? I love Nasty C. I love KO. I love Aries. I listen to all this stuff. You know. So I listen to a lot of African music. I'm biased to African music. I listen to very little American music now.
Okay. Yeah. Which diary session is your favorite?
That one is hard.
I know it's hard. You don't have a favorite.
It's like saying who's your favorite child. You love them. You love all of them differently. You love all of them differently. But I tell you, the ones that I think have done extremely well will be 11. The one that has got TAP on it, Dismal. Then in second, Second will be Diary 3, where I rap, Sheffy and Alpha. Then followed by 7, the one with J Rocks. Then I think followed by 5, the one you're on with Slap D. Then 4, then in that order. I mean, they're all special. Like, I find people say
done well in terms of numbers, or
just in terms of how people
response.
relate. Like when people respond, number wise, Diary 11 is my best selling. It's my best selling, followed by Diary 3. Then Diary 13 now, in terms of numbers.
Okay.
But just response wise, a lot of people, talk about the Diary 2, the one with Critic, B-Mac, and
Tim.
And Tim. Even the one that you and Slap D and Shimasta on, it also gets a lot of quotes. So I base it on how many quotes that I get. Like, people come and quote something from this or quote from this. So culture-wise, those they still bubble. Like, even when I go, if I go like on my Spotify, I need to see. Actually, like on my top 10, I think I've got 5 Diary songs that
the most streamed on Spotify.
Yeah, on the top 10. Yeah, until today. I just can't. I just need to go. I'll screenshot it and send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'd love to ask you this question.
Yeah.
How would you define success for an artist?
Success, in my own opinion,
for an artist.
Okay, so for a Zambian artist, I mean, a lot of people base success. Okay,
successful artist.
Okay, so a lot of people base success on how much money you've made. For me, success is what kind of influence have you had on the industry? Longevity. How long have you been able to sustain yourself in the industry, and what impact have you had? I mean, like, even when you go, how many people are going to say this happened because of this one, because this guy had a hand in it, and that sort of thing. It might not necessarily be money. You might not have made so much money, but if you had like a huge impact and your longevity, and a lot of people followed you, for me, that is success. That's how I look at success.
This is really coming from an industry expert.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people would say success is like, oh, you came in, you made a lot of money, but that people that came in, made a lot of money and fell off, and easily forget. That people that you would forget easily, like, they came, they made so much buzz and people forgot about it. But there's some people that you never forget. Like, you talk about cultural change, you always say, oh, that guy. I tell you, like, even now, until today, people still feel the effect of PJ. PJ might have not made a lot of money, but in terms of cultural change for singers, he made a template for a lot of singers. Yeah. I mean, before him, obviously, there was Chameleon. But like, when PJ came, how many people try to sound like PJ? Until today, I hear a lot of, even some of the biggest popping artists right now, you still hear
have elements of PJ.
You can hear it. They have obviously gone that direction, but you can hear, like, there's an element of PJ in there. So for me, I consider that, for me, that was success, because there was a cultural shift. He influenced a lot of people. A lot of people looked up to him. His name will forever be there, even though, he might not have had the success money-wise that he might have had, and his time was a bit limited, but you still have to look at that and just say, what? In the 5 or 6 years, he had a huge influence on a lot of people.
Yes.
So for me, I that's the template that I use to look at success.
I totally agree. The problem with current generation, social media generation, is they really look at who looks like he's making the most money, and that's what they say.
That's the wrong way. It's the same thing that you say. The same way people say, oh, Jay-Z is better than Nas. Well, yes, Jay-Z has got more money than Nas, but you're not going to tell me influence-wise and just what Nas has been able to do, cultural shift, influencing all of us. Like, I'm not going to agree. If you're going to put that on the table, I won't agree. Yes, there are people that have made money. It's possible. I mean, God will not give everybody money. I might have the biggest influence, but you make more money than me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't base success on money. For me, money is just there are people that will make money.
Same way Drake.
Yeah.
Same way Drake did not really change anything.
Yeah, but he made a lot of money.
He's made the most money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Hey, it's been a great conversation. Thanks for coming through.
Not a problem. You also ask very good questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You asking the right questions. Sometimes the interviews can be a little flat if the the questions are very predictable and just, you know.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Thanks for the compliment.
Yeah.
It means we're doing good.
No, you're doing good. I mean, for somebody who was rapping, but I always knew a rapper always makes a good radio presenter. I've seen that, you know, like it goes hand in hand. It always goes hand in hand. So you're doing a pretty good job. I did what you're doing right now for 15 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
I've done it for a year.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, a year and 2 months.
I did it for 15 years, man. I did it for 15
That's amazing. There's a lot I learned from guys like you and Theomatic.
Yeah.
And So Sick.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
So it was great. Obviously, I'll be in touch if I need you for another chit chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe the next time I'm gonna have a project coming out, or maybe if there's gonna be something to talk about, then yeah, definitely. I'll be more than happy to come back to talk to you.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So you've been listening to The Buzz. We do this every single Saturday. I've been your host, Cam Star, from Lusaka, and our guest for the day has been KB Killer Beats. Signing out. We're leaving the building with music from KB. It features J Cash and Frank Rowe. Ordinary Lover. God bless. Have a lovely weekend.